Thing one tonight, have you ever been watching Donald Trump on a stage with other world leaders just doing the Trump thing and had that reaction like, it is just so crazy, this guy is the president? Well, now we know that some of those other world leaders basically feel the same way. We saw in a video captured at a NATO reception at Buckingham Palace last night. That video of Trump being laughed at by Trudeau, Macron, and even Boris Johnson has been seen around the world today. And if you thought Donald Trump would be bothered by that, you'd be right. He was. And that's Thing 2 in 60 seconds. Today, as impeachment hearings were taking place in Washington, the president was boarding Air Force One in London early. Trump had originally had a press conference scheduled, but he canceled it. It probably had nothing to do with the video of the world leaders mocking his last one. So Trump saw that video and then he canceled the press conference and slinked out of the country, but not before getting in a quick dig at Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Well, he's two-faced. And honestly, with Trudeau, he's a nice guy. I find him to be a very nice guy. But, you know, the truth is that I called him out on the fact that he's not paying 2%, and I guess he's not very happy about it.
For his part, nice guy Trudeau didn't deny anything when he was asked about it at his own press conference today.
Last night I made a reference to the fact that there was an unscheduled press conference before my meeting with President Trump, and I was happy to take part of it, but it was certainly notable. We were all surprised and I think pleased to learn that the next G7 will be at Camp David. I think that was an unscheduled announcement, and I think everyone's team, every different leader has teams who every now and then have their jaws drop at unscheduled surprises, like that video itself, for example. The relationship between Canada and the United States is extremely strong, and I have a very good relationship with President Trump and his team.
All right. Well, we'll see how that relationship goes. It's not like Donald Trump has a hang-up about being laughed at or anything.
And people are laughing at us. All over the world, they're laughing at us.
The whole world is laughing at us.
Everybody's laughing at us.
Believe me, folks, the world is laughing at us. They're laughing at us.
They're laughing at us.
The world is laughing at us, folks.
They are laughing at us. They are laughing at us. Believe me.
The world laughs at us. They won't be laughing if I'm president.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.